Hei, ihanat ruutujen taakse.
Hi.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Kristina.
Thank you for coming here, or thank you for coming to YdinSiskot.
Ja, olla hyvä.
So, tell me, why did you come? Why are you part of this? Why did you feel you want to be part of this?
I was invited to talk about what my life, I suspect, what I see, what I have experienced. I don't quite know. Now you gave me some instructions before what not to talk about, so I don't talk about that.
Great start! I love it.
Okay, so you are my dear friend and my family member, non-biological family member, and you are a husband of mine.
Michael is my husband. But here in the podcast, I first clarify what husband means to me. Michael means to me the big love, the big consciousness, the big kind of relationship where it's not a person. He's not a person, but even though he's the person, but I regard she's our little dog.
Not so little.
Saat olla mukana, jos on hienosti. So I'm going to be with Michael just as if I was with anybody else, not as a husband, but as a beautiful man of consciousness and love and whatever he reveals today, unknown. So basically, you are here to talk about life.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to start. Yeah. So it's quite many different stages in my life. In my earlier stages, I had to learn about life in a way it's been taught to me. You know, all the different, and that was already quite something because in that way I wasn't normal. So I went to India, ended up in ashram and all of these sort of things, and had another spiritual master and lots of different steps in my life. You know, at some stage I was a naturopath, and then over the last few years I had to learn that actually everything that I have learned over 40 years, most of it is a lie. So it was very difficult to take, and so I just had to digest all of that and see what is the truth. If that is a lie and I can't do it, so what am I doing? And then basically what I do is I just tune into the truth of life and into what feels the inside deep down, what feels the most real. And when I go with that one, it becomes a bit strange because I go out of normal ways of thinking, science and all of these things. It doesn't make a lot of sense anymore. It becomes different. And so I meditate a lot. Meditation seems to be the only thing really that survived over the whole 40-50 year period. And so in meditation I have the sense I can relax, I can go in, I can look, who am I really and what is this life all about? And then there is this one aspect that I've always had my whole life, even when I was very small, that I looked at, where do I come from, who am I, and what is this whole place here, you know, with people and earth and animals and trees and nature and all of that. So that is the process that I'm in, and it keeps changing every day continuously. What I also notice is that my consciousness keeps changing because when I'm out in nature, there's a much stronger connection to nature than I had before. There's also a much stronger connection to colors than I had before. I started off as an artist when I was in my 20s, I think. And there I had the sense that I was always looking at colors and shapes. And that was very interesting to me. And it becomes very absorbing when you do that, or when I did it. And eventually that changed. started to go more into spiritual things. I didn't have enough time anymore to go into art. But that whole sense of art has always been in the background. Something was clicking there. And then now it is that when I look out, I see shapes and colors all the time, everywhere, and they're moving and they're communicating. And now that we have a dog, you know, the dog is very much part of it, because the dog is very close to a psyche that I understand. It's in the moment. There's not a lot of thinking going on, and just lives and is interested in what smells and what tastes and what it wants to do. So when I communicate with that one, something inside of me also wakes up. And this thing that I just mentioned, that what I already had early on, that I was always asking, how on earth did I get here? And some experiences that I had with that as well. So it just keeps coming up, because I see people dying, you know, and I'm wondering what happens. Where do I go? Where do we come from? Where do we go? So it just keeps going vaster and vaster, but less and less and less answers, because everything that is supplied with answers, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't produce anything inside of me. So the only thing that produces something inside of me, if I read something where somebody, usually quite out of this world, let's call it like that, is living something which I can somehow identify on some level, and that produces a vibration inside of me, and I have the sense, wow, this is great. This feels more alive. So that's basically the way I'm living. And particulars, I don't know what to talk about particulars. If you want to know anything, you have to ask. I like it very much that I start laughing more, because you really like it. It becomes, in some way, I have the sense life becomes very funny. It's and you also laugh a lot. It's great. So I can relate to the laughing. But there is also this whole pattern, the way I was growing up, everything seems to fall away. And I've seen it with spiritual people, masters. But I had no idea how that feels. When you're just you're living moment to moment to moment to moment to moment, and there's nothing coming up behind it, like you should live like this, and this is the way society is structured, and you have to make money and blah blah blah, all of that stuff. It just doesn't come up. It's just moment after moment after moment after moment after moment, and it's very interesting. So I like living like that. But it's a very, very different sensation in the body. Mm. It's not a lot of stuff is happening in the brain at all. You know, it's a calm.
Sometimes I notice that.
Yeah.
Especially in the practical scenes.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. It is actually absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I do what I can. I mean, I love practical things, you know, like bookkeeping and all of that. I love doing that because it makes sense, but it's just a tiny little bit of the whole of life. And I'm continuously aware of the whole of life behind me. And that makes it a bit weird sometimes.
It is so beautiful to have witnessed you over the years, that transition and change, because as far as I remember you as a person that I met years ago, and you were always after answers and after these details and why and how, and very specific ones that I couldn't wrap my brain around anything that you were saying, because naturopathy is very detailed. And it's what is unfolding out of you is like, I can more relate to that state that you are and what you're saying now, and because there is not much to talk about, but all the talking is sort of additional bonuses. Oh yeah, and the practical stuff, yes, it's needed, but it's not where we meet anymore. And this is very beautiful, because
right, thanks.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Because you have always had this amazing ability to be in tune with the whole, and coming from perception of love Like that's why I was able to be with you in the beginning already, because you're not relating from idea, but you are relating. You've always been relating from love and the true resonance, to which I mean with resonance, that the truth. But you, and I'm not saying but, and you were actually, because you were younger, much. I mean, you had this, what Kristinestad said, this sense of I want to know, I need to know, and then you had this totally open to love and truth, and then I want to know. Like it was like two different sides, which were in the same package. And I was sometimes like, okay, now today we are being very practical and we want to know, and today we are, oh, we're beautiful life and love, and they were shifting, and it was quite sometimes even demanding. But now something has happened during last maybe 1.5 years, that, or even 2 years, 3 years, I can't say in time, but those two sides are merging, and they merged. It's so beautiful to see that merging, that you can be at the same time practical as you are. You love, you make sure that the mowing is done, the garden is done, and you create things. When I say I need something, you go and do it. And but at the same time, you are not alone. Only that you're at the same time in this. I'm just saying my own perception, of course. That you're at the same time in that, I could even say, in a bit of like awe of life, in the magic of life, in the wonder of life. And that is something that is merged with that very rational, compartmentalized way that you also have the ability to be. And they were kind of one or the other, and now it feels like they are coming together. Could that be also your experience?
Yeah, it's what comes to mind when I was there when my father died. I was 6, and that was the first time that I actually something clicked, because I was called into the room and my mother said, "Look, your father just died. He had a heart attack or something, I think it was." And I looked at the guy and there was nothing going on. It was just, okay, he's dead. He needs to go into the grave, doesn't he? But then afterwards I had the sense that this was a very weird experience, because part of me went out of this existence with that guy. And there was no love relationship. I didn't have that with my father at all. But that stayed within me, and then similar experiences happened all over again and again and again, so that I had to look at, okay, now why do I have to experience all of this?
What has inspired me in you, particularly and especially, was the truth vibration that was. I remember in so many situations you were always up for something that feels right inside of you. And you've shifted quite a lot from what 15 years ago to now, probably with Mari even more, but what I've witnessed. So how does that, in your experience, when you touch that, or the knowing of something that is right, when you got, what is it called, like the resonance with what you find outside, that sits in you as truth or knowing something right. How do you can you talk more about the truth? Is it the vibration, or how do you feel?
That's how it feels. That
true?
it's a certain sense of what is real and what is not real. So that is a large part of my life, that I had to see that stuff that I have learned is not actually real. It's just, that's my reality. I had to deal with that. So then I had to look at, okay, what is real? And that is when it becomes interesting, because I come across areas that you normally don't catch in normal science in a university or so, in my experience. So then you look into what is spirit, what is the ether, things like that, what is that force of energy or whatever it is that creates what we think are planets and stars, and when you look out to the sky you see all of these lights. What is it? And the only way now that I have to relate to that is that I actually feel it straight and then listen to whatever the communication is that I get. Because I have no idea if they are stars or not. All stuff that I've learned, and so my path a lot has been that I had to dismantle what I have learned from school on. All of these things, stuff that I was interested, and I was interested in many things. But the main path seems to be that, okay, now it's not that, it's not this, it's not that, and then I look at what is it? What is the reality? And in that there's something inside waking up that is real. That's all I can, that's the only way for me to express it. If something feels real, then I can say it feels real. And then some of the things that I'm being informed about right now, they feel real, but they're so out of it, out of normal way of looking at things, that I just sort of go like, I don't talk about that very much because people think I'm nuts, and
Michael, I have a sense that a lot of people have actually a lot of things happening, what I have come across already since the 90s when I started to teach energy arts and energy language and things like that to people. I had people from all kinds of businesses, doctors, lawyers, whatever. I'm saying those because they are often considered academic. People don't necessarily think this way or say this way. They have quite extraordinary, which is called extraordinary experiences, but they just don't talk about it. So my sense is that it actually could be even quite common, but people just don't talk. Because when these people met each other somewhere, it's like, oh, what book do you have? Oh, I'm also doing this. Oh, in the same company, 4 people came to me separately, didn't know about each other. Then they said they can't say this aloud because nobody else is interested. And suddenly there was a lot of people in the same company.
I'm aware of that, yeah.
So I think it's wonderful that you're saying this because it's actually a common thing that people just shy away of talking about this.
I experience the same when I go around visiting cities, shops, restaurants. There is this like I said, resonance that we are drawn to each other, and somehow during the conversation, a very light one, there is this magic that, oh, but I hear you, I know, I have the same.
Yeah, that's for me where the reality comes through,
Yeah, so it's great that you bring that up here in this one now.
It's, I have to sense, actually everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just read a few books about, I forgot the guy's name. He started to have all these funny experiences where he went out of his body and all sorts of things. And he was really an academic and he really wanted to know what is happening. And once he started to research, he found thousands of people. They all had interests groups and they met regularly and they discussed about it. And he didn't know about that before. So I don't know if it's actually happening or there might be, I'm not sure. So right now I'm in that phase where I just have my own experiences and I have to deal with that. And I have to look what comes up, if let's say if truth is not this, then I ask what is it, and it brings me immediately to another step. Right now I would say the most important thing would be for people to actually look through, or I don't know how to say it, to really examine what the way they live their life, what they think is true and all of that. And check out if it is really true, because from what I learned, there's not much truth out there at all. Not what you get in TV, not what you get in newspapers. there's no truth in it as far as I can experience.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Well, but you you have your own inner meditation. We could call it meditation, but being with life, being in life, you do that quite a lot.
yeah, that is
So-
very strong.
And can you tell something about that?
It's not much to tell anything. One of the things that I notice it's very important for me to stay awake, stay in the body as much as I can. So I have I stay with my feet on the ground, so to say, and just tune in. And it feels like when I do that, life takes over. I don't have to sense it's anything that I do. I have to sense that I have an experience, and the experience leads me to something, and I just keep following and following. So the main thing that happens in meditation these days is that I just sit down and I watch. And as much as I can, I stay awake. But even when I sleep, I also watch. So the watching seems to be the one that has the most powerful energy inside of me. But I can't identify it with anything. I can't say it's this or it's that or I'm following this or nothing of that.
Can you identify yourself with the watcher? Or is it just perception?
It feels like it's more just perception. I don't have like the personality that I have, I have a name and all of that stuff. That is just not interesting at all anymore. It's just I am I'm a being, and I perceive. And what I perceive is life. And there's a lot of stuff happening which is sort of mixing it up, and it becomes like dirty water. So I try to get the water as clean as possible.
How do you do that?
I stay in tune by being as much awake as possible. I stay in tune with life. I can, all I need to do is say, okay, I stay straight with life. What is true? Truth seems to be very, very important. And then when I read something or hear something or something happens to somebody, I see that it's not true.
So basically there are parts of you that you perceive that are not also true. For example, your thoughts, your reactions.
Yeah, I
whatever
get
you
it from
perceive.
people also, it's...
Sorry?
I also get it from people when I get a feedback.
Uh-huh.
And then I see that there's no truth in that feedback. So I can't relate to it. And then...
So what is you're saying that there is no truth, but then what is the because you see also the truth. So can we in this podcast we love this in this podcast. We love to bring up things that are energizing, that people can by you participating with us. I mean,
Yeah,
you
okay.
and whoever is sharing this space. We share a space all together, and in this space, one of our purpose, why we're doing this, is it's not just to talk, but it's to share the incredibly powerful energy, power, ability. When people come together, we have so much goodness. We have such potential for together bringing up energy, which is just incredible. We have all the energy which we don't even know. So in this podcast, one of our purpose is to light up, to wake up that incredible energy that we all have, and together we can create that even more, which I know that you know. So could you say in your experience, not so much what is not the truth, but could you please tell in your experience what brings energy? Well, how can we together not as an idea, not as a maybe something could happen, but right now, in this second, in this moment, when we're together, all of us, whoever is watching and being with us, how can we make more energy into our life, more beauty, more love, more consciousness, something that people don't need to be afraid of each other, they don't need to feel that they're judged or they're not accepted. So there's a lot of words, but I mean every word.
Yeah, for me, basic is the main focus is love, and that is to do, especially in relationship with people, that how to bring the love back into the life, into the conversation, into being with people in love. And especially in my life, how would life change then? What is necessary if I talk about love? Because love is a very high energy.
So how does your life change?
Where does it take you?
Where it has taken me so far is that it's difficult to talk about because stuff has been taken away from me, stuff that I have believed.
But what has come instead?
Everything that I believed in my brain, what I thought about, like medicine and all of that stuff, has been taken away out of experience.
Well, what has come into that space instead?
Into that space the first one is clarity, and then there's this sense of what I would call pure spirit. I don't know what the word for that would be.
Yeah.
That I tune into an energy and it vibrates separately inside of me. Like when I studied stuff and set exams and all of these things, there's a certain sense of, okay, I passed my exam. Wow, I'm something. But there's this sense like, wow, I passed my exam. It had limits. I had the sense that that's not really it. And that was always there.
Yeah.
And so that, and I had to keep looking. I can't override that.
Yeah.
And so out of that one, all of these situations in my life happened. And so then I see that the only purpose that I see that we are here together is to create more love, because that's what people together do.
Yeah.
Nothing else is important. Money is not that important. It comes and goes. And so I've never had problems with it. So that is the one thing. So I would have to sense it's love and truth. They are the two energies that are so important. I don't know anything else that is more important. And when I look at love, I have the sense that it makes life much more joyous.
Immediately I feel joy inside of me when you say that.
If I look at truth, something inside me goes aligned. That's all I can say. I'm at the point where I don't have much words anymore. There's a sensation. So when I go out into nature, I don't explain myself what a tree is. I just feel the tree.
Exactly.
It's that process. It's the same with people.
Yeah.
I feel the people rather than trying to have a concept.
Yeah.
And so in my life, the way it appears to happen is that in stages in my life, stuff is being taken out. And
this great spirit is coming in.
Yeah,
yes.
The spirit is coming in. So the taking out isn't sometimes not easy. I really had to deal with stuff there.
That is right, and when I speak with people, many people agree that it is so. It's kind of a magnet, but it tends to pull. That thing that is pulled out wants to be talked about, and I think we are at the moment. What is most important is to acknowledge that yes, that can be difficult, and it is an uncomfortable and things, and yet keep the energy to that what is easier, what is like the power of not positivity, not negativity, but what is now, instead of pulling into that what is not so good, or going into like, oh yeah, that's so great. More like, okay, what is the power of love? How can I be in that? Even though things are taking out, it's uneasy. But it's like because I know that you have the ability to tune into that where you don't get pulled into what's taken out, but instead you have incredible energy to be able to overcome the difficulty with consciousness, which means that there is nothing to overcome. But you kind of moving into, I'm saying this because we talk a lot together about all these things, and what's waking up in you, in my experience living with you, is that there is nothing that you need to do, and it is time to be that energy what you just talked about. I'm saying so many words again because it's so easy to get pulled into talking about that unease. But how do you bring the ease?
Yeah, the way it happens in me is that when I focus on love, there's an energy entering, let's call it like that. And when that energy enters, I get insights into what is possible. And that happens also quite frequently. That I'm just sitting in meditation, I get visions of how we could live together.
Yeah.
You know, where people actually talk about the truth and they talk about what is important and what's really going on, and how to share love and how to take care of the planet better and all of these sort of things. Everything that has to do, in my perception of how to live a life that is based in love, not in money or anything like that.
So how do you express that that in your your moment to moment life? How do you, because
How do I express it?
because you have that, you know that it could be done. So how do you do it? How do you express that?
It really comes down to the moment, you know, how do I relate to people, how do I relate to animals or nature? It's always the moment, and being awake in the moment and being fully there in the moment, not half asleep. And so if I'm fully aware, then, you know, when I talk to you or to you, I can talk about love and I can produce, I just send the love out.
Yeah.
And then in that, when I do that, you know, I get love back, or sometimes I don't get any love back. But it doesn't matter, it's that's what comes out of me. Like when I mow the lawn, I have the sense of taking care of the lawn.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of nature. That is a good thing to do, and that produces love.
But the grass bits, they don't like you mowing them.
I'm aware of that, you know.
And the insects that you're stepping on.
So that was just, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it's this one thing that is that in all the medical stuff that I have done, what totally blew me over is how the body is being made. You know, we have like, I don't know what was about 100 trillion cells or something like that. And every cell is full of atoms, and about 100 trillion atoms in one cell. And, you know, I look at these numbers and my brain just goes, blah.
Yeah.
I can't possibly even think that.
Yeah.
It's
And
just,
how they renew.
huh?
And how they renew themselves all the
Yeah,
time.
all the time, you know, so
we basically knew all the time.
yeah, so I can look into this and say, I'm a wonder.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an amazing wonder that it actually happens.
Yeah.
And so that was about the last end of my medical things. You know, where I just saw and said, this is amazing. You know, my brain gives up. I can't possibly think in that way.
Yeah.
If you have, you know, all of these chemicals that make up the body, you know, how they interact and what interplay is going on there. So,
Yeah, it is.
you know, it just blows my brain.
Yeah.
But then if I go into that energy and then I look in and see what, I'd like to know what is happening. Sometimes I see the cells and I see what is happening there, but I see that little bunch, it's tiny little bit. But that's already unbelievably amazing. And so, and out of that one, love has role to play. I have the sense that if I stay in love and I don't allow anything negative to enter there, that actually grows. It becomes very, very powerful. So there's an energy that actually feeds the body, the love. And
so how do you do that? How do you stay, when you were talking about the truth vibration, that only you know what is right, what feels right inside of you. And I recognized myself throughout life. I had a pull towards that knowing, which I know what is right. But then being a kid, being brought up by the society and all the norms and other people, I had a trust that she or he knows better, or this organization knows better, or the scientist knows better. So I made that more important gradually than trusting into that I know what is right. But then over time, I still got the pull towards that one, and then less and less I became sort of, I trusted. It was like I trusted that is inside of me. So how did you stepped out of that and totally fully, because I've watched you, I've seen how you constantly looked at whether that is whether that resonates in you. And I remember I asked you something sometimes, and you just close your eyes, and I'm like, Michael, and you said, yeah, I'm looking. And that was so cool. Yeah. Because I hardly ever get this kind of responses from the person, which I found was great, because this is exactly what I knew was the right way to communicate and to meet each other, instead of, I've heard that there is this and that, and that comes first. Okay, there are studies, there are some research or whatever, some facts, but still, it was like I had a moment of blessing with you, because I need to do that too more often. Yeah. That it resonated in me so much that I felt like, oh yes, this is exactly how I want to meet also other people when somebody asks me. So it happened many years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, for me it was.
I mean, a lot of people are probably in the moment, they have this kind of phase in their lives where they feel that which feels right inside of me is not that which I receive from the outside. So how do you find, or how do you do to constantly return to that? And not get pulled by the negativity, like you said.
It pretty much goes by itself in me. It's it happens every day. It's I experience something, or I read something, or I see something, and it hits this center inside, which is the truth and the love, and I see that's not it, and it happened so many times in my life. This is why I also talked.
But does it happen to you that this is it? Because you're quite a bit saying how things are not.
I was just going to come into that one. Yeah. So I've been looking at, why on earth do we all have to go through these difficulties, for years and years and years? And the way I see it is we have to go through it because you will learn something through it. And there's a process behind it. And I got that process many years ago when I was in India with the guru. Basically, where I could understand that you have to come to a point which is so terrible inside that you give up, and that's when the conditioning breaks and you actually can do something new. And I was always wondering, why did he talk about that? But it's actually what happened to me all the time. Unless something is getting tough enough, difficult enough, people will not change. They stick to what they live. Yeah. And so in my life, I had to change many times because it got too much. So I could see that what I'm doing there right now is just not working. I have to realize that, when I had my job, as a naturopath, and I was looking at it and I saw that this is not working. It's a tough one to look at, but in my system, it is that if I realize it is not working, I give it up.
Yeah.
And I have the sense that a lot of people don't give up. They just keep going. But they keep going until the point when it's getting too much.
Yeah, because right now, the people I meet, they are actually at that point where they are giving up. It's like our life is come so intense. That was earlier on. People could. It's still possibility for some people, but more and more people that I meet, they are at the point where they don't have a choice. They've been pushed into, like in Finnish you say, puun ja kuoren väliin. Like there is no space to go back to what was, but they have to get to the next thing, you have to give up. And people don't even know what to give up. It's just more like, I gotta give up. And then it's quite common right now. I'm sure it's not common for everybody, but I have a sense that those people who are here with us in the podcast, I think they are quite a lot of people of us together right now are in that stage where there's nothing of the old works, but the new is not quite maybe yet there. So it's kind of a change time, and that is lovely because you have actually gone through that. That you can then offer your experience to how, yes, things are tough, they are not easy, but then when you do give up, that giving up process is not easy, but it just happens, and then something very beautiful comes instead.
I mean, if I would sum it up, there is a point of fear. Fear is the big energy that stops people. And then whenever I had to come to a point where I see like, okay, now this is not working anymore, then I look at, okay, now what else does work? How do I make money? And it is the fear point. I could keep going what I was doing before, but this sense of it, this is not right, which is a particular sense inside, is too powerful. I can't keep doing it. So, and with that one, I can step through fear. And we had this, the clearest example in my life was that I was in a group, therapy group, and we were asked to go out and get a date. And I was so shit scared. And I thought, I'm going to leave the place. It's enough. I'm not going to stay around. These guys are all crazy here. And I went over the street, and there was a woman coming, and I just went there and I opened my mouth and I said, "Do you want to have a date with me?" And she said, "Sure." I was like, what? I said, yes. So that gave a little energy behind it, that I had more power. So the next woman I met, I asked the same thing. "Do you want to have a date with me? More power already?" And she said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And then within
she wants a date now.
And within a half an hour, I had 6 dates. And then I was, wow, I've never ever experienced it. But I've seen what my brain did before, where it said like, there's no chance somebody wants to be with you.
Yeah.
It took half an hour and the suggestion from the therapist in the group. And with that experience, I had the sense that, okay, now when I have the sense I have fear, I go right through it. And then we had that also in other therapy groups where the therapist was saying that if you have fear, right through it. You don't let it come. The longer you wait, the more difficult it is. And then I learned that, okay, now if I have that funny program going on in my brain, it's a condition, fear. The easiest way is to just go right through it, and then something else opens up. And afterwards, I didn't have the fear anymore. It was gone. So, and things like this, they happened quite a lot of them in my life. and it all ends up in one life experience adds up to the next one, adds up to the next one, and eventually here I am. And then right now I'm just really amazed of what happens for me outside in nature. I said, well, wow, it's just I'm surrounded by whatever the whole of life, like there's millions of leaves out there. Everything is colored. There's the sun coming out, it shines the light. The sun. Wow, this is amazing.
It's so beautiful. I don't know. This is maybe not part of this talk in a way, but I'd like to bring it up because we lived together in Australia. We met in Australia and we came back here. And in Australia, everything is just continuously blasting. The seeds are this big, and then they pop. They go like. And then everything is big, vast, and we came to Finland 1998 in May. It was a bit late May, and the birch trees were just starting to bring the leaves, and I was like, oh, look how beautiful! Look how this is so amazing this spring. Michael was like, you were like, oh, okay, okay, yeah, it's okay, it's beautiful. And then it didn't take, we moved here, we lived here, after a couple of years, he said, oh my Mario, look at the leaves, they're starting to come, how beautiful. It's like this thing that when you are, when things are not taken for granted, it's suddenly, things start getting very vibrational and normal things like leaves coming are magical. And that's kind of what I find, that is the magic of life. And that is when difficult things start transforming, because it's being in the magic of leaves coming and buds opening. Life can be all kinds of things, but then everything moves on. It's like knowing that this too will pass. This thing has helped me a lot. This also will pass. And so then this kind of sense of opening, like what is around the next corner, what good can come, what beautiful can be around the corner, even though it might have been quite shitty, like you said, but then that was already. If something was bad, next thing must be really good. It's like, it's wonderful that you're sharing that. I mean, that was my perception. It was not what you were saying, but it was kind of related to the magic.
And my perception was of you two, that this sums up your relationship, because this is exactly what I've witnessed when I met you. I was very, part of it. And look how you communicated, and this taking for granted is something that stood up to me very clearly, because I've had many relationships in my life, and it was such a magic. And I remember talking to somebody and I said, yes, I did meet a couple who finally lives it, so it's possible.
Thank you. Hey, based in the magic, in the middle of all living.
Yeah, and so the deepest thing that happens for me also quite frequently is that something keeps going back. I'm becoming aware of the planets and the star and the different sensations. It's quite easy to do. All I need to tune in to a star, like let's say Alpha Centauri or something like that.
You what?
Alpha Centauri is a star, the first star outside the solar system. And so I can tune in, but then something always, it has done that since I'm very small, is going back, but what is the beginning of the whole lot? Where does life come from?
I had the same when I was a teenager. I looked at the stars in the sky, and it was my first sort of blank awakened or aware, the most aware and the most blankest, the blankest moment is that the question, what is behind of it all?
Yeah.
Because I see only I see that partially with my eyes, and then something happened. I shifted into another state where I felt that I'm more connected to that this is my being. But I
Yeah.
didn't have any answer to that. But it was not the question to get the answer.
I didn't know. I
It
don't
was
have the
exactly
sense
the
it is an answer,
inquiry
yeah.
to get, yes, beautiful.
Yeah, and that happens quite frequently. To me, it's it's quite amazing in that state. So it takes like fear of death away.
Yeah.
It's just okay now. At some stage, I was not here, and suddenly I am here. And one day I will not be here anymore. But the fear is gone.
Yeah. And when you say death, I see that it has so many aspects. It's not just leaving the body or the body dying. It's dying to idea, dying to some pattern, some belief, some old stuff that is not working. Life is about dying all the time.
Yeah.
The moment has passed.
Yeah.
It's changing. It's the nature.
One moment is
Release. It's a release. There's beauty in it, but the fear can be very. It's like I only die to certain things. No, it's all about death. It's all about dying, passing. It's not the things that fit my psychology or preferences.
Yeah.
And this is quite a beautiful opening then.
Yeah, and I have the sense they're quite important experiences, like what I go through these days, because I had these two doctors call it a stroke. It's a weird experience where suddenly the whole consciousness changes, chuck. And part of my body doesn't work properly. And I have the sense, okay, now that's actually a reality. That's partly something dies in the body physically, where people are always very afraid of that the body dies. And so if it goes in bits and pieces here and there, like my eye, that I had to deal with that. Okay, now, so this is just temporary body. It lasts for whatever, 100 years or whatever. But it's not going to be there forever. It doesn't look like that, And every time that happens, I have the sense it's an enormous lesson for me to learn. I have to let go of something, usually. If I can't walk properly anymore, I have to let go of being able to walk properly, at least for now. And then in that process of letting go of it, something happens.
Yeah, this is it when you say that, at least for now, because this is not how it's going to be forever, or no matter what the doctors say, what the prognosis is, it's not about, it's only in the now. But then I remember we spoke about the meditation, and you said that when you are in meditation, you're totally free out of all of that, being able, not being able, how long. It's like
that's why I love meditation.
That's why you love meditation.
Yeah, in meditation there is no difficulty.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't come across any, so it's quite nice. It was actually very beautiful when I was, in the last day when I was in the hospital there in January, there was an elderly doctor there, he was 64, and he told me that he has another year there until he's 65, then he can retire. And he was about the most honest of the whole lot of them there. And he came to me on the last day and he said that, you know what, you're going to be 100% perfect. The body's going to heal itself.
He said that.
And everything inside me says, yes.
Wow, yeah.
Thank
because
you.
Was it because it was true?
Yeah.
Yes.
So something inside of me responded to that one. And I have the sense that if, doctors would do this more and more and more, it would be fantastic to people. But that was a sort of like a great experience that came out of that, being in the hospital. Yeah.
So how did that feel, that when the doctor said to you that you're going to be 100%? Did you set yourself a target? Did you set yourself another target that by a year like that, my body is going to...
No, what happened was that my first reaction was like, what did he just tell me?
What did he think?
That can't be true, that doctor is telling me that. because they all come and give you pills and all of that stuff. And then I had the sense, yeah, that's the truth. You know?
So it was enough for you to know that it's even possible, and that is enough for you. You're not you're not optimizing your health to, calculate it again how much you eat, how often, what, or what's happening.
I don't, that calculating mind is not there anymore. I had that as a naturopath quite a lot. No, it's more that I have the sense life is very easy. You just live and eat, if it comes to food. Although, like 2 or 3 days ago, I had a dream at night. And in a dream, somebody, I can't remember who it was, said I should be a vegetarian. And I woke up and I thought, what? Vegetarian, and then suddenly I realized that, all these different systems that I've learned, I've learned about 60 different ways of eating. My studies. It's unbelievable how many diets.
You tried them all.
Yeah, I tried a lot of them, but I basically choose and I eat what it feels right, when I'm sitting with the food and I look at how does it feel and I eat it.
It's actually very beautiful because the way we are doing it now, we are enjoying each moment. When you are in the perception of senses, you can taste, you can eat, and when you lose that for a while, because you lost it for a while, you could eat, but it wasn't sure even if the swallowing comes back, but it all came back. But now, after that, you're just saying that it's every moment is sacred, and the food, when you eat it actually with such
joy,
appreciation and joy, and so every time we eat, it's kind of like a moment of holiday. We don't need to go for holiday because we are in a holiday.
Yeah.
And you don't need to make a ceremony because you are celebrating life with each meal.
Yeah.
I had the sense that that would be a message that I could give. Just that every moment celebrated.
Yeah.
Do the best out of it, what you can do.
Yeah.
And that's for everyone.
And it's just the simple things.
Don't judge.
Yeah, simple things.
Just life is very simple. I learned that from a dog, so dog is not judging anything. It eats shit outside, and then to me, I would say I wouldn't eat that, but then the dog just eats it, and but that would be sort of like a major.
But you might eat the vegetables that have eaten the shit.
Could be.
Shit and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
returning back to that.
That's the thing. I have that also inside of me, that there's, because I started the chemistry and biochemistry and all of that, some part of me keeps on looking through things. Everything is related. We're all related, and as you say, part of you eats shit. Yeah, sure. You eat dead people. And you breathe dead people all around you.
People mean all this being.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Just to clarify, cannibals here.
But yes, it is. Yeah, all the air is plants. All is alive. Everything is alive. Thank you. That is lovely.
Yeah, well, Oliver.
Would you like to say something? I was just wondering, because you have this meditation in you. Would you like to do a little meditation together?
Yeah,
Would you?
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I just thought of it right now. It wasn't the plan.
Yeah, so meditation basically means you enter your body. Yeah, just close your eyes. And then feel whatever you feel in the body. There is a sensation there. And sometimes it's a good idea when you go through it and you notice that there's tension somewhere in the arms or hands or belly or something like this, just let it go. And then you watch your breath in and out. Own rhythm, no system. Just these few steps we have just done, going into the body, if you do that regularly, it's just amazing what happens. And then watch whatever comes up inside of you. What do you see? What are there any pictures coming up or thoughts coming up or whatever? Just become aware of it, and that process of becoming aware of it is very important. That it just doesn't go like a movie that you're not aware of. I was just waving to the dog and explaining that for the camera. The dog is standing there, also wants to meditate. And then you observe what happens if you do this for a longer time. When do you lose contact? Or are you able to keep contact continuously all the time? And then very clearly see what you see. Where does your consciousness go? Are you able to stay in the body? Does the mind take over? And then also, if the mind takes over, you have a look at with what? What are you thinking about? And just keep being present, awake. If you keep doing this for a while, then you can keep seeing your changing mind. Goes from one subject to the next subject to the next subject. underneath all of that, you are pure life. Okay.
Thank you,
Let's see
Michael.
last one now.
Thank you. Lovely to share that with all of us.
This is beautiful. When I meditate alone, it is like that, but similar to what happened now in just being with you. But with you, because we're all doing that, it feels like it's multiplied. It's the multiplication of ability to be inside and meeting the life outside of me as it is without seeing it or without being in a particular sense, but still meeting to its fullest expression. Then because we haven't meditated for some time together, and it's amazing. It's like,
And actually, we were all meditating together.
Yeah,
It wasn't just three of us. It was all
well,
the people.
yes, physically we were.
Yeah, physically, yeah.
But it's the
Oh,
I really felt the multiplication of that energy.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so beautiful. Thank you.
Right. Alive.
Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful that you came to be with us.
It was.
YdinSiskot, the sisters
Yeah.
of the origin.